What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for all of your support, all of your love, the app, everything, the downloads. It's crazy. I appreciate you guys so very much. Today I've got a special guest. I've got the event director, Danny Bourgeois, for Veterans Day Fall Classic at the Battery Atlanta. Oh, yeah. Hey, Danny.
Hey, Ash, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Danny. All right, so we're talking all things Veterans Day Fall Classic, the Battery Atlanta. So where did this event even come from?
You know, it's a good question. We have been talking with the Braves and Mike Plant and Jeremy Strife and Elizabeth Pitcher and the group that runs the battery development over the last few months, probably even more than that, about hosting an event that would really touch the hearts and impact the families and the veterans themselves. And this is really what came about, is leveraging the activity and the engagement that the organization had already been doing with veterans and military. So this was just a natural progression for them, and for me, it was a way for me to really take our team and our efforts of putting on events for the last 8 years and really hyper-focus on something special here at the Battery, Atlanta.
What are some of the things that people can look forward to during this event?
You know, the ultimate goal is to have this really be a running festival for veterans. So we want to have multiple hospitality suites where there's a corporate partner who's helping sponsor and manage that hospitality suite at one of the restaurants. And then we want the actual charity nonprofit, the veteran charity nonprofit, to benefit from an upsell ticket to this VIP area. And our ultimate goal is to have multiple restaurants here at the Battery in the future, having these type of models set up. So it's an awareness builder, it's a fundraiser, it's a great way for other partners with the charities to have a chance to host a fun event and yet still continue to fundraise. So I'm calling them the events within the event that directly benefit 5, 6, 7 featured charity partners. That's the real value to this event to the community.
What kind of options are you guys offering as far as the courses?
We're really lucky. This is a special area for a course because I've run it, I've ridden my bike across it. You know, we're featuring a 10-mile race. It's a very military number. There's lots of races all around the country that focus on 10 miles. It's a great distance. Many women, my wife included, love doing the 1 hour run, walk, 6 mile, 7 mile deal. Extending that to 10 is a nice challenge, but it's not something so overwhelming that it's a lifestyle change. It's not as much of a bucket list for some people who do 1 or 2 half marathons a year or 1 marathon a year. This is a little more digestible. It can also be part of a training plan for any of the other longer distances. So it's a real happy distance for those type of runners and run walkers. Then we're also going to couple that with a 5-mile option that both go out together at 7 o'clock in the morning on November 11th. Following at 10:30 will be a 5K, which is more of your run walkers. And I always say this, and it really makes sense. If you shop the day after Thanksgiving, with or without carrying electronics and all the other kids' toys, you've got this great deal going from one store to your car and back to a store, you do more than a 5K that day. So anybody can come do the 5K and enjoy themselves. And then the last will be a kids' 1 mile race that will probably happen around 12 o'clock at the time we're going for. And that's, for families and the young ones to have a chance to, really get a little run on in and around the Battery.
For some of our veterans that may not be in the best of health, but, want to come out and support, is there a way for them to actually, participate?
In most cases, if they can do the 1 mile with the kids or if they can do the 5K, that's great. But those who really can't run, it's just not part of who and what they are. Volunteer. We are organizing and setting up so many different areas to volunteer, and we'll continually be needing volunteers as the event grows. So that's a great way to participate. And what's also good is so many of the people you're speaking about that are close to veterans nonprofits, there are a lot of them around here. Volunteer with them. As the event grows, and for just announcing it, this summer, but as it grows in the future, there'll be a bigger demand for support either with us directly with the race or with some of the partnering charity and nonprofits.
What about any pre-race training? Are you guys putting any advice out there for all our people that maybe don't race on the regular, but are like, you know what, I want to go out, I want to be a part of this event. What can they do?
I'll tell you a little special story that was important to me. I'm one of the guys that started the Louisiana Marathon in Baton Rouge, 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And a few years ago, a woman who was, she's 55 years old. She worked in the paper advertising marketing industry. And we were sitting around having a little summit, a little discussion about where the race was going. And she put down her white glass of wine and she said, my husband, he's older than me, but he's a Navy SEAL. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to talk to my husband about what I would do if I wanted to try my first 5K, but I've never done one. I'm 55. And I like to think of as my wife teasing me the same thing. She would listen to anybody else other than her husband for training. But what was funny about it was that I said, you know what? I don't know your health and fitness category. I don't know where you are, but I can tell you the easiest thing you can do is mentally wrap your head around doing something every day for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. What I suggest you do is go out and walk a half mile and see how your feet and your back and everything feels. And then on your way back in, run from one light pole to another. And if you get the mental and physical discipline after a week or two, find a trainer, find somebody to talk to that will really work with you, because the real end of the day, a runner, whether you're an elite runner or whether you're somebody who can regularly go out and run every couple of days, you're basically an athlete. Mm-hmm. You need your core strong, you need your stabilizers strong in your leg. You need to be more than just moving forward fast, just running. Right. You need to have some of the core muscles and things together. So I said, take a little of the sting out in the injury that most people are prone to get by going too far, too fast, and just talk to somebody who's done it that can create a little bit of a plan or some guidance specifically for you. Well, she did that, and she showed up a year later. I hadn't seen her that much in summer and fall for the next press conference. I didn't recognize her. Of course, she did the thing with her hair, and guys don't catch it when you cut your hair and dye it a different color. But she walks up to me and one of the sports editors from the paper down there, and we both looked at her, we looked at each other, and she just got tears in her eyes. She goes, because we talked about this last year, I did my first 5K a few weeks ago. Now I'm training for my first sprint try. Wow. She lost 55 pounds.
That is awesome.
So I look at it with this race and where we plan on going, for a running festival for veterans, that those family members of military, just the American lifestyle that's so challenged from a health and fitness standpoint, if it's fun and you enjoy yourself, if you're educated and you don't get hurt, it's really a social experience. And if you can shop on, Black Friday, you can, is it what's called Black Friday or Black Monday? Cyber Monday, Black Friday, right?
Yeah.
The day after, if you can shop that day, you can do a 5K.
I like that. You might want to tag that down, you can shop a 5K. You can do a 5K.
Put a big hashtag on it somewhere.
You might need to do that. Are there going to be finishers' medals? Are there different categories? Or is it just, all for fun? We like flashy stuff, Dan. We like to feel accomplished.
The bling is the thing, right? And as we like to say, bada bing, cha-ching, the bling. So here's the deal. We do have medals for the 10 mile, the 5 mile, and the 5K. Okay. We are already having those on the website, and we have those all, set up for people to see now, and they come to any of our events, which you can follow us on VeteransDayFallClassic.com, Facebook, Instagram, and real soon Yelp. But we're out and about, and one of the first things we try to throw on the table or hang from a tree branch are this year's medals. And they're really pretty cool. We're playing into, the whole story and the whole brand, the whole feel is to have this American branded kind of nostalgic looking feel, the positive side of all things us. But at the same time, we try to add just a little bit of a touch. And this is a unique part of our whole story is I think there are a lot of people in this country, the first time you say the word veteran, they think of Pearl Harbor veterans sitting there watching the flags. They think of now Vietnam veterans who are in their 60s. And no disrespect to what they've contributed and how important, our uncles and grandfathers, and for some of us our fathers are. But if I were to say to the active family who's 20 to 30, 40 years old that have veterans in their lives that are the same age, because you can easily be 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, and be a veteran. When you think of Veterans Day and you want to celebrate, you want to be engaged, especially in this very military favorable, environment where a lot of veterans live in Georgia. What are you going to do? go to the parade, go to the square, which is great stuff. We hope to have more of that here, and we don't want to disrespect it, discount it.
Right.
We just want to add something to it, which is a running festival, that the more active lifestyle and these charity partners can really be engaged and feature this as just something new and different for this area. There's not that many Veterans Day races out there in this country, so we're hoping to be one of the flagships, one of the bigger ones on the East Coast.
I see that, and I commend you all for the dedication to our veterans. This is huge. It's going to be even bigger and better than what we've ever had here in Atlanta. With it being such a huge event, parking, transportation, getting out to this ginormous event that's it's going to pull thousands of people everywhere, Dan. Where or how are people supposed to get there in a timely fashion?
Well, it's a good question you ask, and it's one that those who are not in Cobb County or Vinings or Sandy Springs or Smyrna that are right near the stadium, and those who really aren't the biggest baseball fans that haven't been here yet, I highly recommend you come check out the Battery. The Battery Atlanta is a beautiful facility. It is continually opening new stores, new restaurants, and there is ample parking for where we'll be as a race for this year. But as we grow, those same parking lots, and we hope to develop the same type of relationship the Braves and the baseball team have with those who are in the outlying area, you're seeing 40,000 people for a sold-out game.
Yeah.
So I don't see us breaking 40,000 runners in the near future. Gotcha. I would love to be at that level at some point, but I think we're going to have baby steps to get there.
Yeah.
But we do have our sights set on in this area, and this is the beauty. There was a 25,000 person race before the Battery, and there was multiple events all in a weekend, and that was this 10K up and down Cobb County, down Cobb Parkway. Right. And it was nationally, looked at as a great race to challenge those who did the 10K distance. Mm-hmm. So many of the municipalities and our partners like Johnny Isaacson and some of the other groups in the Cobb Chamber, Cobb Travel, Cobb Sports Alliance, the partners that are in this area really developing engagement with different groups who come in to participate in this area. There's already this vision of a 20,000 plus event. We see parking and transportation here as probably being easier now than it was the last time that event ran. Might have been 2008, 2009. So it should be great on a Saturday for parking.
Awesome. And let's talk a little bit about the Veterans Gala.
What we plan on using is the Finish Festival area in partnership with Live at the Battery and their 4 restaurants, so that when runners with their bib are going to get 3 tickets for either food, or they're basically buying food or beer with their bib. And we're going to have, with our Live at the Battery and their 4 restaurants, they're all under their umbrella, they're going to be our first group of partners this year, giving a taste of the Battery to our runners. And then those who want more will just be paying whatever the fees are that we establish for additional food and things like that. As the event grows, what we hope to have is more live entertainment, maybe a couple of intimate settings for live entertainment throughout the Battery. The goal is to have people here having a good time from about 6 o'clock in the morning till 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon at some point. Right. That would be a huge win for me. What we've done at our other races and our other little running festivals in Louisiana and Mississippi, we have 25 restaurants serving food. Wow. We'll have 4 or 5 bands playing. People run a half marathon or a marathon, and they're in the same garb, maybe just throwing on a layer to keep the wind off because you're on the river or you're on the Gulf Coast, and they'll hang out till 2 or 3 in the afternoon until we start packing up and have them put them in an Uber and send them home. So it's kind of that vision of a running festival that we want to have is kids activities. We want to get to the point where there are multiple hospitality suites, that there's engagement going on at the hospitality suites, maybe even guest speakers or little fundraisers where they're doing raffles and silent auctions and playing games, really educating those at the suite about the charity and ways people get involved even after the event. At some point when all the different hotels are open over here, I'm hoping that the different veterans, charities, and nonprofits maybe start leveraging the energy and they start having their own symposiums and their own, day before, day after type events because they already have some critical mass here. We see it in Louisiana where multiple charities will get together and host their own pastelaya dinner and open it up as a fundraiser the day before the marathon and half marathon. Things like that happen here. That whole festival experience will just exponentially grow and add value to everyone from the runners to the charities.
Okay. Cool sauce. So, yes, this is the Veterans Day Fall Classic. The event starts off November 10th. That is for packet pickup and all your preparations and stuff. So that's Friday, November the 10th, and Saturday, November the 11th. The big race starts. What else would you like for our audience to know about this event and why they need to sign up like ASAP?
The most important part is that we're a nonprofit, that we are partnering with many veterans organizations. Each day we're getting more engaged. You know, in our vision and our plan a year and a half ago, we were probably already behind the 8 ball in having featured relationships with some charities, because when Veterans Day falls on a Saturday, they dig in. But now that they're all set up for their plans, they're starting to see where we're going for the next, few years with them. We're bringing more groups in to partner with us. So the USO, Higher Heroes, we've got conversations today with the Shepherd Center. We're getting more engagement with charity and nonprofits, that to be here and be a part of this the first year and see it grow is going to be very exciting for everybody in Atlanta and Georgia. The best place to register, we're going to be continually having rate increases between now and race day, so the sooner the better for everyone, is to go to veteransdayfallclassic.com. It's a mouthful, but it's the easiest way to communicate a web address, because once you type it in once, you never have to again. But it's veteransdayfallclassic.com.
Well, Dan, we're looking forward to this amazing event. Yes, another classic and a historic event going down at the Battery, Atlanta. Looking forward to that, Dan. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being able to share information about this event.
No problem. So we're looking into that. And we're going to get our RSVPs. We're going to get our registration on today. You guys go and tune in to veteransdayfallclassic.com. Go sign up. It's going to fill up quick. It's going to be an amazing, monumental event out there at the Battery, Atlanta. For any other questions, you guys can go ahead. Dan, if they need to get in contact with you, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way for me and my team to correspond is info@veteransdayfallclassic.com. I'm also Dan at veteransdayfallclassic.com.
We appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning into the show today. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, it's cool, it's fun, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys,